Warning. The content on this channel is not intended or suitable for minors below 13 years of age. If that is you, please click off and come back when you're older. By continuing beyond this point, you affirm that you are 13 years of age or older.
Here we are, the very final video of the Descenders series, the Xbox One Game Pass head-to-head versus the PS4 Pro. And this is Favela and Glaciers, and I will say what's interesting to me is that Career Plus starts off way easier. Like, the desert is honestly a fairly easy level, and you can mind rep it like crazy. And after that, though, every level after that is equal to or harder than the hardest level on the career path, which is far and away the forest level. So I think that's really kind of interesting that they sort of did that. And I like that. You know, if you're going to get to some of these higher achievements, you are damn well going to earn them. None of those actually appear in this video, but you know, they're very worthy to do that. And if you like to do tricks and stuff like that, I don't do a lot of rep mining. I don't honestly really even care too much about the rep, other than there are certain thresholds where you can get cool stuff like additional bikes and so on. That stuff is really kind of cool. On the Xbox, the threshold now is about 20,000 before I earn anything. I'm not playing anymore, so it doesn't matter. With the PS4, I'm still missing enough things that I can get, even under 1,000, I can still usually earn stuff. So the threshold for there, and it happened on the Xbox, and that turned incremental with that once I got high enough rep and got enough stuff, where it became more like the next threshold was 5, then 10,000, and so on. So. But anyway, so here it is, Favela, which you'll see some of the differences. There are subtle but important differences with Favela, and peaks as well, but they're very, very, very minor in peaks. So, but anyway, let's kick that off and get on into it. Alrighty. So you can see the main difference here, honestly, on this level is you can see it's way more cluttered against the track, like on Forest actually. Way more cluttered against the track on the PS4 side, which of course is on your right as usual. And you can see that shit is right on top of the track. So again, just really a lot of the main difference here is less margin for error. Now, Favela was for quite a while my least favorite track. And part of that, or my least favorite level rather, and part of that is because you can see there, as you're watching this, you have to follow the flags in the air, but sometimes you lose track of them, like in Forest, you lose track of where the flags go, and it's very easy to get lost. And just the paths running off to the side are the same color as your actual bike trail, which is a marked difference actually from Forest. And that part is a little frustrating. Also, I noticed that there's telephone poles and things like that to run into, lots more objects. I think this one might be a straightaway one on Xbox. I can't remember. The Xbox does have one where it's full tilt straight down, which very rarely happens on this level. But you want to be careful with stunts, like super careful, because if you get off track, it is really hard to recover and not slam into a building. And the way that this gives you bails, actually, especially on the PlayStation, is really annoying. So as you see that on the PlayStation, you never see us on the Xbox. You never see, and there I lost the trail. You never see, though, a jump and then a mini boss jump right after that. Like, you don't usually see You don't usually see the curve, ramp, and then boss jump like that, like you do on that side. So there's this, and then right after this, there's the boss jump, and it is... So this one, those are relatively... You can get up on either level of that. If you're under 40, you're going to really want to try to make sure that you super jump. That's the only real thing to worry about there. I don't think there are a lot of mini boss levels on this favela, though. I don't know if I've seen a lot of them. There is another one where you jump between buildings, but I think there might be only 2. Desert, of course, doesn't have any, and Jungle, I think, has 2 also. I'm trying to think. I think there's only 2. And then when you get to Glaciers, I think there's... there might be... I'm not sure there actually is any there. I don't know if that gigantic hole that I can never seem to get past is one or not. We'll see that coming up, too. So, with the favelas, I didn't do it for this video, but a lot of the time what I will do is I will scout them ahead to see if they're straightaways. If they're straightaways, then awesome, which is again, exceedingly rare. But if they are, then fucking fantastic, right? I'll just let my nuts hang on it. But that is not the case most of the time. See, and this one has too many curves to pay attention to, so. Another thing that you can sometimes do is count the flags. That can sometimes be of use. So I start over at a new play. You can see the reputation is a lot different. I started over a new play on the Xbox side. The PS4 is actually still on the same play that I did in the preceding video. See that? So there's that should not have been a wipeout on the PS4 side. His front wheel barely touching a fucking telephone pole, and it counts as a bail. Like I said, it's just so unforgiving. One thing about this game that I find a little frustrating is that you can't set any sort of damage level. Because I don't know that skidding into a tree like that, if you were actually on a bike, if it would have that same effect. I'm honestly inclined to doubt it. You see the Xbox is having a little bit of a problem now. And for the remainder of this video, the Xbox will take between 30 and 45 seconds to load every single level, which is much, much slower than the PS4. Again, I don't know if the PS4, if that's because it's not connected and it doesn't need to look for other players to try to connect to, which the Xbox is also doing. But you can see there are no other players on the Xbox side. Right, we got some crazy blurry shit going on there. There we go. And that might have been how they compensated for the PS4 Pro and the PS4 just being a more powerful system, is they stripped a bunch of stuff out for the Xbox. But so here's what I would like. I would like that option. I would like it if you had play on Xbox settings versus play on the PS4 settings. And honestly, I would play on Xbox all the time. Both because the reputation system, I think, is slightly better on a lot of these levels. But also because you have freeways to drive down. I mean, look at all this shit that the fucking buildings are on top of the goddamn track. Oh, and here's another thing, right? The end level, you can ride around the so-called bicycle Jesus, which we'll see here on both of these. So on the PS4 side, I actually rode around it. But the Xbox, you can ride around it every time. The PS4 has actually blocked me riding around it. It forced me to do the jump a few times, which I thought was kind of interesting too. Just a lot of unusual. A lot of these. This one isn't that subtle of a difference. I mean, the texturing is pretty close. Okay, so we're already at I don't spend time fucking around with these tracks. So we're already at the boss jump on the PS4 side, so we're just going to hang out with the Xbox here for a minute. And it's not like intense detail is really particularly useful here. Okay. So this one I think is a straightaway, and on the Xbox side, I was just letting it go, as fast as I possibly could. You can see, look at that kind of clearance, though. You don't have that on the PS4 side. So we get whipping here, midnight, well, actually lower 90s. Oh, here we go, mid 90s, and we're over we didn't quite get to 100, but you can you can annihilate your guy at the finishes. Okay, so here we are, finally, the end level. So this figure is the, I don't know what they, Christ on the Mount or whatever they call that thing. My buddy that was playing this with me, he called it Bicycle Jesus, which I think is as good of a name as anything else. So Bicycle Jesus at the end, and so on the Xbox side, which oddly enough is looking better, we're going to attempt the jump, but you have to, yeah, it gives you Redeemer. Oh, Christ the Redeemer, that's what it is. So you can see you have to thread your way through it here. You can ride around it though, which I'm doing on the PS4 side. The Xbox, we're just going to go over the top of it. And there we go. Now we're going on to the Glacier level. And again, the Xbox is taking fucking forever to load levels. Alright, so we're going to scout this out just a touch. See, there's that gigantic hole. Now, what is interesting is some of those holes you can't get past, which is one of the problems with the randomized thing. You literally cannot go past some of those, some like this one. Like you can't wall ride because it's too slippery, so you try to go around it and you go into a deeper hole. Now, if you can manage to land on some of the shelves, you can actually ride out of some of these, but some of these, like for instance, this one is ice. So you can see on the PS4 side, I'm trying to ride up it. On the Xbox side, the actual trail used to be ice. It's now snow like it is on the PS4 side, which is kind of a sad change. Because really, that's what prompted me to want to do this video, is having it actually be ice, and it isn't anymore. But you can see the snow is much more heavily textured on the PS4 side. And here we go. Try it off that. Nope. If you do get a good enough run, you can sometimes... So here's the only thing I've found that you can do with this, is if you jump and then bounce off of the cliff face and then bounce back onto the trail. That's the only way I've really found to do that, but it's not an easy thing to do. So, we ate the ice chunk on the PS4 side, so we're going to have to redo. There I am being agonized about it. So we're going to have to redo the getting back to the Glacier side. I should have just hit restarted, but I think I didn't want to go back to Favela, so it'll make you go back to the last level you were on. Okay, so the Xbox side, here again is that gigantic hole. So if you're really see, that's what I'm saying. If you're really careful about doing this, you can usually ride around those. And there's another one, but sometimes it won't give you that ability, which is kind of annoying. And this level is the one that has taken me by far the longest out of everything to get past. Actually, in fact, I still have not done it on the PlayStation as of this. I have on the Xbox, but not on the PlayStation. There's no one of those goddamn holes. That's not as deep a one though. So one thing that's interesting is that you have to inspect all of them on the Xbox side. You get different colored flags on the PS4 side, which is a lot nicer. There you can see I'm just trying to ride around everything. So the thing you don't want on Favela is speed and curves, just like in Forest. The thing you don't want on this one is stunts. So when you see me going around the menu trying to figure out which level to pick, I'm trying to find the one that has the least amount of stunts. But sometimes you'll get ones like you can see on the Xbox side. It's unavoidable, and you just get a fuck ton of stunts. The only thing you could hope for is that the randomizer is nice and lets you ride around it. Also, yes, you can see on the Xbox side, or on the PlayStation side rather, you need to be able to brake and steer at the same time. So you need to be able to skid and steer at once. So curves I don't really pay a lot of attention to on the Glaciers. And the only thing that you have to be a little careful with is if you get a lot of speed, you'll be forced to ride your brakes the entire way down. Which can be, honestly, a touch of a nuisance. Okay, so yeah, there's that bastard of a hole again on the PlayStation side, and I think the red ones are the shallow ones. I think you get red flags for the shallower ones. We'll see if we come across another one of those. Those holes though are just a pain in the ass. If I had to say there is one thing that is the worst about this game, it is those gigantic fucking holes in the ground for no reason. Looks like I'm stuck in one on the Xbox side, possibly. You can sometimes twist it well enough though to get out of some of those. Looks like I managed it there. And of course, you can actually just send the guy sailing and have him wreck after the flares as well. So you can see I'm picking based on stunts for both of these. Both of these were at the menu there. Oh yeah, there's this thing. This curve is nasty. So sometimes you get really ill shit like this. So look at this. That one's okay, but this curve right there, there's a huge drop off on both sides. So there it is. I'm just going to show you, I guess. And third time's a charm, maybe. Can I get past it? Third time's a charm. Third time's a no, it's not. I go skidding right off again. So yeah, I was really riding the struggle bus on the PlayStation side. But let's just try again because we've still got some more footage on the Xbox side. I probably could have bailed on that side because I think realistically you've seen the differences by now. The the Xbox is just not does not have anywhere near that level of detail. However, there does not appear to be additional features that the Xbox doesn't have. It's just they don't look as good on the Xbox side. All right, so let's see if we can find one of those shallow One of the shallow holes again. Is this it? Yeah, this is a deep one. Oh, this is such a pain. Yep. That actually shouldn't have been a bail. Another one that you would have made it on the Xbox. Now here's the problem with this is that the track veers off way over to the right. So I think I actually get past this on the PS4 side, but then I get hopelessly lost because the track veers off. And there is a lip. Sometimes there's a lip. Like this one I probably could have jumped if I wasn't being dumb about it. Decided to let it skid down. But the track actually goes to the right. So here I am off on the left side with no fucking idea how to get back. And this is all you can do is just keep riding around in this stuff and really hope that at some point you come across the track, but you can see this is like not easy stuff to get out of. This is is it possible? I mean maybe. Not with the bike I have, but and here I am, I'm stuck, I have nowhere else to go except for back, but you can see here back is not an option either. You can sometimes get traction if you hit the snow. The ice really won't give you a lot, but the snow sometimes will. This one I'm just going to have to crash. Okay. And then come back. This gave me a lot of brutal glacier levels, actually, on the PlayStation side. This is going to be just really hard no matter how you slice it. Because you can see there that... So here I am looking, trying to figure out where it goes, and I see, okay, it veers off to the right, and I know I'm hopelessly screwed where I am now. Meanwhile, on the Xbox side, we're continuing to grind. But you can see the right is not, there's no way to ride around this. You would have to try to super jump this and hope for the best, but that is a huge super jump. So you'd have to super jump, kiss the right face, and then go over. And of course, now I'm dead again. On the PlayStation side. So, yeah. Oakley dokley. So we got to be getting close to the boss jump on the PS4 side. The boss jump is very similar to the jungle. Ooh, minor miracle there. I survived that one on the Xbox. But again, the Xbox, I will say, is a lot more forgiving. It just is. But I think that's kind of smart too, because if you want to introduce people to your game, the last thing you want to do is make them want to wreck their controllers. Oh, there it is. So there's the boss jump on the Xbox side. You can see this one, and I just didn't line it up right. So I get another chance at it. And this one, you have a lot less margin of error than you do on something like the like Jungle. Yeah, that one I don't know how I managed to get off kilter on that one, but I did. So there's that, and there's the end of the Xbox, and oh, I decided to go into hyperspeed for the PlayStation side. So this is going to be like Ice Follies on this side. So we'll let this go in hyperspeed for a while. This is actually a lot more fun to watch like this. Oh, yep. I don't know what was with this. I don't know what was with this jump. I could not seem to get my shit together on this. Finally. We're just gonna yeet this guy off into nowhere. This is maybe I should do a bunch of videos like this. Where we just oh shit, I missed that one. I don't know if that was the flag was different. I think it was a little bit different on that one. One says Arbol maybe, and one says Unity. I think something. I don't know. I can't ever remember. It'd be kind of fun to do a series of runs. Just maybe I'll do some of that. I'll do start to finish just with. I'll leave the actual sound effects on in the game for that, but I'll just do start to finish at hyperspeed like this, or start to as far as I get. Maybe I'll do start to finish. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do that. If anyone wants to see that, leave me a comment. Let me know. Otherwise, at the fastest, you're talking well over an hour to go through all the levels. Even if it doesn't take that long, it only takes less than a minute to ride the level. But here's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for choosing levels. You're waiting for levels to generate and all that stuff. So, and you don't want to spend that kind of time on a video. That's just too long. Yeah. So those are unities. So the Arbol flag, or Arboreal, sorry, is the gigantic holes. The Unity flag is the little holes on on the PlayStation side. This is pretty neat. Maybe I could find some royalty-free music and just make a video. See, that one's gonna be a big hole again. Yeah. This one I just didn't have any good choices, so I went with not Fire Node. I will say that since a lot of this is random, honestly, skill isn't 100. It's a lot of this, probably 80, a good 80% or more of this, but there's a very definite luck factor into this. Like, you can't discount that. That one, I don't think that was a crash. But all right, so there it is, the end of the tale, for now anyway, of Descenders. Again, I really like this game, but I will say I enjoy it more. Honestly, just being straight up here, I love the PS4 controller a little bit more over the Xbox controller, but I'll tell you this, I have way more fun playing that on Xbox because it really relates to my style of play more, which is to hellbent for leather, right? It is really hard to control that a little bit with the PS4. PS4 is so unforgiving. It is so precise, and I still enjoy it on the PS4, just not to that level. And maybe what I need to do is get on PS Plus and open it up a little bit more to, kind of having other riders and stuff like that. Because it sounds dumb, and I don't do multiplayer online stuff hardly ever. But I really enjoy seeing a bunch of other riders there. And you can't frag them, you can't drive into them and stuff. But you can ride through them, and you can kind of fuck with them. And I think that's a really, really cool part of that. And I honestly kind of miss it. And I want to say it's cross-platform. So PC is playing with Xbox, is playing with PS4, I think. I don't know that. But it's kind of how it seems to me. So hopefully I can get some of the levels I enjoy on Xbox if I actually turn that on. I can't get any feedback from Rage Quit as to whether that's the case or not. I don't know if it is or not. I'm hoping it is, but I'm waiting for, at this point, a Black Friday sale. Hopefully there is one for the PS Plus, but at the end of the day, it's only $60 a year. It fries me a little bit that I'm already paying that for the fucking PS Now. And then I'm paying it again for PS Plus. PS Plus is of limited use to me, honestly. And I think once I go through all the games I want to play on PS Now, it'll be more attractive. But for now, there's such a glut of things on PS Now that I want to play and get to that it's hard to see where I'm going to get the value out of both of them. So I really wish PlayStation would rethink that. But, you know, if I can get a year for like $30, then I probably will feel better about it. But if they're just stuck on $60 for the year, I realize it's only $5 a month, but there's an obstacle in my mind to paying for both of them. So for now, anyway, if the channel gets more popular and more people start digging this, and I can actually, you know, make some bucarinis on this, then who cares? But for now, this is just a really fun thing that I do, and I don't want to necessarily add a lot more expense to any of this. But anyway, there it is. Descenders is a great game. Encourage everyone to play it. It doesn't matter if you're playing it on PC, PS4, Xbox, play it. Again, my strong preference is for the Xbox if that's available. If you have Game Pass, it's on there right now. I wish they would add it to the PS Now or to PS Plus, one of those two. So to kind of open up that a little bit as well, but maybe that'll be a future thing. But anyway, we'll be back with a new game in the very next video. And hopefully we'll see you then. Until that time, swears, as always, peace out.